Day 26. Exodus 24 to 26. Exodus chapter 24. Moses writeth his law, and after offering sacrifices sprinkleth the blood of the testament upon the people, then goeth up the mountain which God covereth with a fiery cloud. And he said to Moses, Come up to the Lord, thou, and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the ancients of Israel, and you shall adore far off. And Moses alone shall come up to the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people come up with him. So Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, and all the judgments. And all the people answered with one voice, We will do all the words of the Lord, which he hath spoken. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rising in the morning, he built an altar at the foot of the mount, and 12 titles according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Titles, that is, pillars. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, and they offered holocausts and sacrificed specific victims of cows to the Lord. Holocausts, whole burnt offerings, in which the whole sacrifice was consumed with fire upon the altar. Then Moses took half of the blood, and put it into bowls, and the rest he poured upon the altar. And taking the book of the covenant, he read it in the hearing of the people, and they said, All things that the Lord hath spoken we will do, we will be obedient. And he took the blood and sprinkled it upon the people, and he said, This is the blood of the covenant, which the Lord hath made with thee concerning all these words. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the ancients of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel, and under his feet as it were a work of sapphire stone, and as the heaven, Winkler. Neither did he lay his hand upon those of the children of Israel that retired far off, and they saw God, and they did eat and drink. And the Lord said to Moses, Come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and the law, and the commandments which I have written, and thou mayest teach them. Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua, and Moses going up into the mount of God, said to the ancients, Will ye hear till we return to thee? You have Aaron and Hur with you. If any question shall arise, you shall refer it to them. And when Moses was gone up, a cloud covered the mount. And the glory of the Lord dwelt upon Sinai, covering it with a cloud 6 days. And the 7th day he called him out of the midst of the cloud. And the sight of the glory of the Lord was like a burning fire upon the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses, entering into the midst of the cloud, went up into the mountain, and he was there 40 days and 40 nights. Exodus chapter 25. Offering to prescribe for making the tabernacle, the ark, the candlestick, etc. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, that they bring first fruits to me of every man that offereth of his own accord, he shall take them. First fruits, offerings of some of the best and choicest of their goods. And these are the things you must take, gold, and silver, and brass, violet and purple, and scarlet twice dyed, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skins dyed red, and violet skins, and fine wrought cedar wood. The wood of a tree that grows in the wilderness, which is said to be incorruptible. Oil to make light spices for ointment, and for sweet-smelling incense, onyx stones, and precious stones to adorn the ephod and the rational. The ephod and the rational. The ephod was the high priest's upper vestment, and the rational his vestplate, in which were 12 gems, etc. And they shall make me a sanctuary, and I will dwell in the midst of them according to all the likeness of the tabernacle which I will show thee, and of all the vessels for the service thereof. And thus I shall make it frame an ark of southern wood, the length whereof shall be of 2 cubits and a half, breadth 1 cubit and a half, the height likewise 1 cubit and a half. And thou shalt overlay it with the purest gold, within and without, and over it thou shalt make a golden crown round about, and 4 golden rings, which thou shalt put at the 4 corners of the ark. Let 2 rings be on the one side, and 2 on the other. Thou shalt make bars also of satin wood, and shalt overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put them into the rings that are in the sides of the ark, that may be carried on them, and they shall be always in the rings, neither shall they at any time be drawn out of them. And thou shalt put in thee the testimony which I will give thee. Thou shalt make also a propitiatory of the purest gold. The length thereof shall be 2 cubits and a half, and the breadth 1 cubit and a half. A propitiatory. A covering for the ark, called a propitiatory, a mercy seat, because the Lord, who was supposed to sit there upon the wings of the cherubims, with the ark first vista, from thence of mercy. It is also called the oracle, for 18 and 20, because from thence God gave his orders and his answers. Thou shalt make also 2 cherubims of beaten gold, on the 2 sides of the oracle. Let one cherub be on the one side, and the other on the other. Let them cover both sides of the propitiatory, spreading their wings. and covering the oracle, and let them look one towards the other, their faces being turned towards the propitiatory wherewith the ark is to be covered, in which thou shalt put the testimony that I will give thee. Thence will I give orders, and will speak to thee over the propitiatory, and from the midst of the two cherubims, which shall be upon the ark of the testimony, all things which I will command the children of Israel by thee. Thou shalt make a table also set of wood, of 2 cubits in length, and a cubit in breadth, and a cubit and a half in height. A table, on which were to be placed the 12 loaves of proposition, or, as they are called in the Hebrew, the face bread, because they were always to stand before the face of the Lord in his temple, as a figure of the Eucharistic sacrifice and sacrament in the Church of Christ. And thou shalt overlay with the purest gold, and thou shalt make to it a golden ledge round about. And the ledge shalt palace ground 4 inches high, and over the same another little golden crown. Thou shalt prepare also 4 golden rings, and shalt put them in the 4 corners of the same table, over each foot. Under the crown shall the golden rings be, that the bars may be put through them, and the table may be carried. The bars also themselves thou shalt make of some wood, and shalt overlay them with gold to bear up the table. Thou shalt prepare also dishes, and bowls, censers, and cups, wherein the libations are to be offered of the purest gold. Libations, that is, drink offerings. And thou shalt set upon the table loaves of proposition in my sight always. Thou shalt make also a candlestick of beaten work, of the finest gold, the shaft thereof, and the branches, the cups, and the bowls, and the lilies going forth from it. A candlestick. This candlestick, with its 7 lamps, which was always to give light in the house of God, was a figure of the light of the Holy Ghost, and his 7-fold grace, in the sanctuary of the Church of Christ. 6 branches shall come out of the sides, 3 out of one side, and 3 out of the other. 3 cups as it were nuts to every branch, and a bowl with L, and the lily, and 3 cups likewise of the fashion of nuts in the other branch, and a bowl with L, and the lily. Such shall be the work of the 6 branches, that are to come out from the shafts, and in the candlestick itself shall be for cups in the manner of a nut, and at every one bowls and lilies. Balls under 2 branches in 3 places, which together make 6, coming full out of one shaft. And both the bowls and the branches shall be of the same beaten work of the purest gold. Thou shalt make also 7 lamps, and shalt set them upon the candlestick to give light over against. The snuffers also, and where the snuffing shall be put out, shall be made of the purest gold. The whole weight of the candlestick, with all the furniture thereof, shall be a talent of the purest gold. Look, and make it according to the pattern that was shandly in the mount. Exodus chapter 26. The form of the tabernacle with its appurtenances. And thou shalt make the tabernacle in this manner. Thou shalt make 10 curtains of fine twisted linen, and violet and purple and scarlet twice dyed, diversified with embroidery. The length of one curtain shall be 20 to 8 cubits, the breadth shall be 4 cubits. All the curtains shall be of one measure. 5 curtains shall be joined one to another, and the other 5 shall be coupled together in like manner. Thou shalt make loops of violet in the sides and tops of the curtains, that they may be joined one to another. Every curtain shall have 50 loops on both sides, so set on that one loop may be against another loop, and one may be fitted to the other. Thou shalt make also 50 rings of gold, wherewith the veils of the curtains are to be joined, that it may be made one tabernacle. Thou shalt make also 11 curtains of goat's hair to cover the top of the tabernacle. The length of one hair to curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth, for the measure of all the curtains shall be equal. 5 of which thou shalt couple by themselves, and the 6 others thou shalt couple one to another, so as to double the 6th curtain in the front of the roof. Thou shalt make also 50 loops in the edge of one curtain, that it may be joined with the other, and 50 loops in the edge of the other curtain, that it may be coupled with its fellow. Thou shalt make also 50 buckles of brass, wherewith the loops may be drawn, that of all there may be made one covering. And that which shall remain of the curtains that are prepared for the roof, to wit, one curtain that is over and above, with the half thereof there shall cover the ramparts of the tabernacle. And thou shalt hang down a cubit on the one side, and another on the other side, which is over and above in the length of the curtains, fencing both sides of the tabernacle. Thou shalt make also another cover to the roof of ram skins dyed red, and over that again another cover of violet-colored skins. Thou shalt make also the boards of the tabernacle standing upright of satin wood. Let every one of them be 10 cubits in length, and in breadth 1 cubit and a half. In the sides of the board shall be made 2 mortises, whereby one board may be joined to another board, and after this manner shall all the boards be prepared. Of which 20 shall be in the south side southward, for which thou shalt cast 40 sockets of silver, that under every board may be put 2 sockets at the 2 corners. In the second side also of the tabernacle that look to the north, there shall be 20 boards, having 40 sockets of silver. 2 sockets shall be put under each board. But on the west side of the tabernacle thou shalt make 6 boards. And again other 2 shall be erected in the corners of the back of the tabernacle. And they shall be joined together from beneath under the tap, and 1 joint shall hold them all. The like joining shall be observed for the 2 boards also that are to be put in the corners. And they shall be in all 8 boards, and the silver socket 16, reckoning 2 sockets for each board. Thou shalt make also 5 bars of satin wood to hold together the boards on one side of the tabernacle, and 5 others on the other side, and as many at the west side, and they shall be put along by the midst of the boards, from one end to the other. The boards also themselves thou shalt have from away with gold, and shalt cast rings of gold to be set upon them for places for the bars to hold together the boardwork, which bars thou shalt cover with plates of gold. And thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the pattern that was shen thee in the mount. Thou shalt make also a veil of violet, and purple, and scarlet twice dyed, and fine twisted linen, wrought with embroidered work in goodly variety, and thou shalt hang it up for 4 pillars of setim wood, which themselves also shall be overlaid with gold, and shall have heads of gold, but sockets of silver. And the veil shall be handed with rings, and within it thou shalt put the ark of the testimony, and the sanctuary and the holy of the holies shall be divided with it. The sanctuary, etc. That part of the tabernacle, which was without the veil, into which the priest daily entered, is here called the sanctuary or holy place. That part which was within the veil, into which no one but the high priest ever went, and he but once a year, is called the Holy of Holies, literally, the sanctuary of the sanctuaries, that being the most holy of all holy places. And thou shalt set the propitiatory upon the ark of the testimony in the Holy of Holies. And the table without veil, and over against the table the candlestick in the south side of the tabernacle, where the table shall stand in the north side. Thou shalt make also a hanging in the entrance of the tabernacle of violet, and purple, and scarlet twice dyed, and fine twisted linen with embroidered work. And thou shalt overlay with gold 5 pillars of setim wood, before which the hang shall be drawn. Their heads shall be of gold, and the sockets of brass.